Cop pulls over black driver, then stands at attention when he sees the police badge. The sun bled orange across the horizon as Marcus Reed gripped the steering wheel, his knuckles tight. The empty stretch of Route 17 outside Birmingham felt heavier tonight, the air thick with the threat of rain. Marcus, a 35-year-old black man, was no stranger to this road or the flashing lights that now filled his rearview mirror. His heart sank, a familiar dread coiling in his chest. Not again, he thought, easing his sedan to the shoulder. Officer Daniel Holt, 42, stepped out of his cruiser, his boots crunching on gravel. His hand rested near his holster, a habit honed by years on the force. The stop was Rutinia taillight out. Nothing more, but something about the driver's calm posture set Holt's nerves on edge. He approached the window, his voice clipped. License and registration. Marcus exhaled, keeping his hands visible. It's in the glove box. I'm reaching for it. Okay? His tone was steady, but his eyes held a storm. Holt nodded, watching closely. As Marcus handed over the documents, a glint of metal caught Holt's eye. Police badge, clipped to Marcus's belt. Birmingham PD, Detective Division. Holt froze, his jaw tightening. You're a cop. Holt's voice wavered, suspicion giving way to surprise. Marcus nodded, his gaze unwavering. 15 years. Homicide. The air between them crackled. Two men bound by a badge yet divided by a chasm of unspoken history. Holt straightened, almost instinctively, but his eyes darted to the badge again, as if questioning its authenticity. Why didn't you say so? Holt asked, his tone softer but laced with unease. Marcus leaned back, a bitter smile tugging at his lips. Would it have mattered? The question hung heavy, unanswered. Holt shifted, glancing at the empty road. I'm just doing my job. Your job? Marcus echoed, his voice low. Funny how your job always seems to find me. Third time this month. Same road, same excuses. His words cut deep, and Holt's face reddened. The officer opened his mouth to respond, but a crackle from his radio interrupted. Dispatch reported a nearby robbery urgent. Armed suspect. Holt hesitated, torn between the call and the man before him. Marcus sensed the shift. Go. I'm not the one you're looking for. But Holt didn't move. Instead, he handed back Marcus's license, his hand lingering. Look, I didn't know. Didn't know what? Marcus snapped, his restraint fraying. That I'm not just some suspicious black guy? That I've closed more cases than you've got years on the force. The accusation landed like a blow, and Holt flinched. For a moment, neither spoke, the tension a living thing between them. Then, a new voice broke the silence. Everything okay here? An older black woman, maybe 60, stood by the roadside, her pickup truck idling behind her. She wore a nurse's scrubs, her face etched with concern. Her name was Clara, a local who'd seen too many stops like this. She'd pulled over, unable to drive past. I saw the lights, she said, her eyes flicking between Marcus and Holt. Just checking. Holt bristled, but Marcus raised a hand. It's fine, ma'am. Just a misunderstanding. Clara didn't budge, her gaze locked on Holt. Misunderstandings seem to happen a lot around here, she said, her voice calm but pointed. Her presence shifted the dynamic, a quiet witness to a moment teetering on the edge. Holt cleared his throat, stepping back. You're free to go, detective. But Marcus didn't move. Instead, he looked at Clara, then back at Holt. You ever wonder why she felt she had to stop? He asked, his voice softer now, almost pleading. Why she couldn't just drive by? Holt didn't answer, but his eyes betrayed a flicker of doubt. The radio crackled again, the robbery call growing urgent. Marcus nodded toward the cruiser. "Go do your job, officer." Holt hesitated, then turned away, his boots heavy on the gravel. As he reached his car, he paused, glancing back. Marcus was already starting his engine, Clara watching from her truck. But the story didn't end there. 2 weeks later, Holt found himself at a community meeting, one of those tense gatherings where cops and residents tried to bridge a divide that felt like a canyon. He hadn't expected to see Marcus there, sitting in the front row, badge still clipped to his belt. Nor had he expected Clara, who stood to speak, her voice steady as she recounted the roadside encounter. "I stopped because I've seen too many misunderstandings end wrong," she said, her eyes finding Holt's. "But that man," she nodded at Marcus, "he's proof we can be more than what you assume." The room buzzed, some nodding, others shifting uncomfortably. Then Marcus stood, unprompted. "I've worn this badge half my life," he said, holding it up. "But it doesn't shield me from suspicion. Not from you," he looked at Holt, "or anyone else. We're all human. We all bleed. So why's it so hard to see that?" The twist came when Holt, to everyone's surprise, stood too. "I'm not perfect," he admitted, his voice raw. "That night, I saw a driver, not a detective. I was wrong. I'm trying to learn." The admission stunned the room, a crack in the armor of authority. Marcus nodded, a silent acknowledgement. It wasn't reconciliation, not yet, but it was a start. As the meeting ended, Clara approached Marcus, her eyes warm. "You remind me of my son," she said. "He wanted to be a cop too. Never got the chance." Her words hit Marcus like a wave, a reminder of why he stayed on the force despite the weight. He thanked her, his voice thick, and watched as she walked away, her scrubs catching the light. The next day, Marcus found a note on his desk at the precinct, a handwritten apology from Holt, short but sincere. It wasn't much, but it was enough to make Marcus pause, to wonder if change, however small, was possible. He tucked the note away, a quiet hope kindling in his chest. In the weeks that followed, Marcus and Holt crossed paths again, this time at a crime scene. They worked side by side, not as equals, not yet, but as men who'd seen each other's flaws and chosen to keep going. Clara, too, became a fixture at community meetings, her voice a bridge between distrust and dialogue. The town didn't heal overnight, but the ripples of that night on Route 17 spread, touching lives in ways none of them could have foreseen. The badge Marcus wore wasn't just a symbol of authority, it was a reminder of his humanity, and of the fight to be seen as more than a stereotype. Holt, too, carried a new weight, a resolve to question his instincts, to listen. And Clara, the unexpected witness, became the heart of their story, proof that one voice, one choice, could shift the tide. What do you think? Who was right, who was wrong? Or is the truth somewhere in between? Share your thoughts on justice, bias, and the divides we face.